All right, everyone, here we go. It's an all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is. It's straight up energy reading. This is Mercury and Sagittarius. I'm going to shuffle for the pre-shuffle. I want to do it because if I'm wrong about this energy, I want to be wrong in front of you. I do, and I'll leave it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to talk about this energy because you go around to astrology sites and all kinds of stuff, and sure, most people are going to say it's very positive, optimistic energy. It is. I agree with that. Mercury and Sagittarius, one of my favorite places for Mercury. All right, it is. Speak with a lot of passion. It's very positive, very wants to have fun, very upbeat. It can be, but we have to take the long view and consider the surrounding energies. We've got a retrograde coming right around the peak of the 11/11 portal that runs till about the end of the month. That retrograde might cause some regrets because this energy is honest. It's honest. It is. Honesty. There's a reason Billy Joel sang about honesty. It's such a lonely word, mostly because it's so unheard, right? People don't like that. We live in a society right now where people bury their heads in the sand. If there's something they don't understand or they don't like what they hear, they make up some other story that sounds better to them, and they run with that. That is exactly how the energy is working, all right? And the problem is you're going to be very honest and direct in this. You're going to know who you are. You're going to know what you believe. It's not as deep as Mercury and Scorpio. It just wants to let the good times roll, and those good times are getting things off your chest. I just feel like there's a potential for a lot of regret later. Okay? I want you to bask in the positive of this energy, but I want you to know that the negative is always there. All right? Just keep that in mind. I would be irresponsible of me to pull a rainbow unicorn on this, even though it is a very positive energy. All right, let's see. Let's see what the surface energy is. See if I'm right or am I wrong. This is an energy, Mercury. We're going to be with this because of the retrograde. It's going to be with us a while. It's an energy of where it's going to seem like the decks are made of communication cards. It really will. You'll see it all over the place. You know, tarot reader, heyday for tarot readers on YouTube. You can put the Eight of Wands in your title. People will come running for it. I'll tell you what. All right, here we go. There's your pre-shuffle. Okay, let's see where we're at. Let's take a look. Well, this guy, I haven't looked yet. I said I want to be wrong if I'm wrong. It's just the surface energy. Normally you would have turned on. I would have said right there. Here we go. It's an all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is. It's straight up energy reading. I did a pre-shuffle. Here it is. It's the surface energy. That's it. All right? This feels pretty powerful to me. That's a lot of heat. Two of Pentacles. A lot of heat. This guy's got something to get off his chest, and you can see it. You don't want that on your chest, do you? What's crossing this? The Empress. It's an attraction energy in this context. It's an attraction energy. It makes you, all you can think about is what you want to say. Yeah, it's a potential to take the short view rather than the long view. In other words, you need to consider what the other person wants to hear. In this energy, in this very positive, very honest, direct communication, I want you to balance what you're saying, the honesty of what you're saying, with what your person probably wants to hear. Try to find a middle ground, because otherwise you'll just blurt the whole thing out and hit them with it. All right? You're going to liberate yourself. The Nine of Pentacles. There it is. There it is. Eight of Wands through communication. I just got done talking about it. It's Scorpio season. You know I hulk up during Scorpio season. I'm not going to be wrong here. So someone attached to you, just trying to help you through this energy. You're going to have a lot of things you're going to want to say. Open, honest, direct communication. You bet. Very positive, optimistic, which means you'll fucking delude yourself and think, oh, I can tell this person this and they won't get mad and punch me in the teeth. You're probably wrong. Okay? Be careful about that. You want to liberate yourself through all these shit you want to say. You're speaking the truth. You're telling the truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth. You ever watch TV, turn on the news? Nobody wants the truth. The truth is painful. The truth is inconvenient. All right? It's straight up. Nobody wants the truth. The truth's not even entertaining. It's not fun. All right? It makes you feel good. It makes you feel good to tell the truth. It's about you. It's about you feeling this Nine of Cups with this truth here. Yeah, the Strength card. Very passionate. It makes you feel good to say this thing. Again, I don't see any consideration for the other person here. Be careful about that. That's all I'm saying. Give people the truth, but give it to them in doses, or you'll wind up alienating yourself because there's a lot of passion here. Passions run high with the Strength card. Let's keep going. And look, if you're not careful, Nine of Swords, there's your anxiety. However, this is bookending. It seems to be in the energy bookending this Two of Pentacles. These are things that you need to get off your chest that are keeping you up at night. Somebody attached to you is feeling the same way. All right? Somebody attached to you is feeling, well, there's my Queen of Cups, the Desert Queen, feeling a little lonely, maybe. Anyway, that's this energy. Be careful, okay? Consider the other person. The truth is tricky, right? In the energies of right now, even within the soulmate cycle, the truth is tricky. The DMs don't want to admit that they're wrong. It all boils down to people being stubborn. Even when they're wrong, they still keep going down the wrong path. That's a surefire way to go over the cliff with the bus. You know, it really is. And somebody here in their life is kind of doing that. They're willing to take a chance. I think they blurt some things out to you that maybe you're not ready to hear, or you didn't want to believe, or it comes at a bad time. I don't know. But for you, talking to you guys, pay attention to what I said. All right, there's going to be some things you want to get off your chest. Consider what the other person wants to hear. At least pause for a moment before you speak. Most people won't. You're only going to do it because I said so, because you're getting that information. Because when the retrograde comes, which is the majority of November, along with the 1111 portal, you're going to go through a lot of changes. Your beliefs are going to change. Or things will be presented to you, that evidence or things or situations or information will be presented to you that causes you to want to change direction. That will make it obvious that you kind of need to change direction in a lot of cases. And if you're too rigid, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to need allies. All right? That's just for you. As far as the soulmate cycle and the incoming energy, yeah, I've got somebody attached to you here that's got something they need to say. Let's find out what it is. We're going to pull a pyramid, but I am going to do the cut cards. What's the card before the cut? The reason we're here. Seven of Wands. Somebody, again, there's a lot of tension. Somebody's very defensive about you. You might be defensive with what they have to say. We've got two sides that both have something to say. And both sides, it feels very... You can get into a lot of fights in this energy. I know. This is why I talked about this energy. This is why I talk about these energies in the beginning. Because I know what happens. You're going to get a whole bunch of sugar-coated ass sugar-coating. It's very positive and optimistic. It's beautiful. It is. I agree with that. But there's other energies at play. And right now, the energies are very volatile within the soulmate cycle. Societal energies, both of which very volatile right now, where honesty isn't going to work necessarily. Not the whole thing. You don't want to shoot the whole wad. Just a little bit. All right? Okay. Comes after the cut. Somebody's ready to... I don't know what they want to get off their chest, but whatever it is, they need to set the record straight. Six of Swords. Somebody here, Seven of Wands to the Six of Swords. That's why we're here. We got a chance to set the record straight. Be cool with how you do it. I think somebody attached to you isn't going to be that cool. You might get hot and bothered by it. You might get hot in the collar. You might get pissed off. Okay? Be careful. If you're aware of the energy, you might be able to control it. I don't know. All right. Let's give the deck a final shuffle. Let's pull a pyramid. Here's how they feel about you. Here's how they see you, what they think about when they think about you. The bottom of the pyramid, the upside down pyramid, I guess, is a potential final outcome. I say potential because I cannot predict free will. Nobody can. I'll clarify whatever needs clarifying, probably everything in this fucking reading. I'll throw some universe cards at the end. You bet your sweet asses we're going to extend this. This is an extremely important energy that a lot of people are going to get wrong. And I know they are. That's why I did the long intro. And I know from my stats that 40% of the people watching fast forwarded through everything I've said they will fast forward till the point where I throw a card at the beginning of the pyramid. Okay? And I feel bad for those people because they're gonna blurt some stuff out. They're gonna get themselves in some hot water this month. All right? Better off, if you don't have a lot of time or you haven't learned the lesson of temperance, you're always better off listening to one of my readings on 2x speed rather than fast forwarding and skipping around, because I'm a real energy reader. Real energy readers peel back the layers. We find out things, we learn. It's like a Sherlock Holmes investigation. We use a lot of deduction and figure things out as we go. We learn more and more and more, right? We maybe make an initial guess in the beginning, but then find evidence that either supports or dismisses that guess. Right? You don't try to prove yourself right or wrong, you just question your beliefs. You question your theories. Trying to prove them right or wrong slants it in one direction or the other. You could prove anything right if you're slanted enough in that direction. There's all kinds of spins you can put on things. You always want to be as neutral as possible. Anyway, do what you want with my readings, but a lot of people are going to get themselves in hot water in this energy. I'm telling you right now. All right, let's go. Overall energy of everything that's going to fall on the table. It's the Four of Cups. What's fueling that? The Four of Pentacles. I don't care about fear. It's somebody who he's not afraid to do anything. When you pair these two energies together, you get somebody who doesn't care. They just don't care. They don't give a fuck. This energy will, I know it's very positive, it's very optimistic, but it's also open and direct. There's desires. There's a strong desire built into Mercury and Sagittarius for new beginnings. Okay? Keep that in mind. And sometimes, not unlike Tom Cruise in Risky Business, sometimes you just got to say, what the fuck? All right? Sometimes you do, to have those new beginnings. And, well, here we go. Somebody just nothing to lose, don't care. Okay. They're going to say what they need to say to you without any consideration for whether or not that honesty is something you want to hear. It takes two to tango. If someone's not ready to receive the honesty, they're not going to. It's like trying to get somebody out of a cult. Until they start questioning the cult, nothing you say is going to work. It's just going to bounce off of them. Okay? So it's because they're biased in one direction. The cult has pulled them in one direction, and they're enveloped in that storyline that the cult has. Until they start questioning that, that's when they step outside the thing. See? So you know in advance in this energy to, consider the fact whether somebody's ready to hear the honesty that you need to get off your chest. Somebody attached to you doesn't care. They're not here. They're not listening to me. This is how most people are going to behave in this energy. They're just going to say shit. It'll be small time shit. You look ugly in those shoes, right? I've just always wanted to tell you that. You wear these fucking stink-ass sandals everywhere we go. You look like crap in them. Again, without any consideration for whether maybe that was a smart thing to say or not. All right? It has good intentions attached. It is very honest. Yes. It is very direct. Yes. It is very positive. It has, in the sense that it has good intentions. I don't want you wearing those stink-ass sandals anymore, right? Because you look like shit in them. But there's a way. We're losing, with Mercury and Sagittarius, we lose the eloquence a little bit. We lose the common sense a little bit, all right? All you need to do is catch my drift here, and you'll be fine. You'll also be fine when somebody approaches you who doesn't care. They're going to tell you whatever it is they need to get off their chest. It's a little bit selfish. It is a little bit selfish. All right? And fire energies can be a bit selfish. My father was a Sagittarius, for example. Great guy. Everybody loved him. But he had a selfish side. My mother always used to say that about her. Your father is very selfish. It's all about what he wants. It depends on the energetic makeup. But if you have a lot of fire, you can be a little selfish. Aries can as well. It is that sort of thing. I take offense by it. My sister's an Aries. She's selfish as fuck. Man, she doesn't even realize it sometimes. It is what it is. Just drops her kids off without even asking. Jesus, it's like I have them. If you don't want them, just leave them here and sign them over to me. I mean, you probably got the paperwork in the car. All right, how's this person feel about you? Let's go. Anyway, use this energy wisely, okay? All right, but keep in mind, people don't give a shit. They're going to say what they need to say. And don't try to talk somebody down from a ledge that's trapped in an energy. You won't get them out of it. How do they feel about you? 7 swords. Oh, shit. What else? 7 wands. Oh, can we get a third? You know, if we get a third 7, we win. I don't know what, but we win something. Maybe it's a brand new car. It's not a third 7. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think it's a 2. But technically, it's a high priestess. It's secrets, it's hidden energy. Somebody's hiding has been hiding their feelings so long they don't even know what they are. Somebody attached to you. I'm pulling on one of the energies. There's multiple energies that you're going to have to deal with in this energy, okay? I'm just pulling on the biggest one that's here. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's your dad, your mom, somebody you were banging, an ex, a relationship you're in now. Somebody has pushed the feelings back so long that they don't know what it is, and they're going to just... This isn't about communication. This is feelings. They don't know. They've just... The truth is like gone now. It's history. They've pushed them back so long. So God knows what they're going to say when they don't give a shit in this energy, what they say. Most of what they're going to tell you is probably bullshit, I would guess, but I don't know. All right. Yet. How do they see you? Well, let's move to the 3D, shall we? Let's get out of the feelings. How do they see you? Or what do they think about when they think about you? One or the other. Queen of Swords. They think you're high and mighty. They think you think you're always right. You think you think you know shit that you don't know. I don't know. You know, it's a bit of that. Take it that way. They think you're harsh. They think you're mean. They think you've got the... Take it. I'm just riffing on the energy. There's thousands of people watching. Something I'm saying will resonate with everybody, but not all of it will resonate with you. You catch my drift? Okay. I mean, they think you're the Queen of Swords. Take it. Look at the picture and take it for what it's worth to you. Okay? I mean, people that I think are Queen of Swords, I find them to be a pain in the ass. Why would this person find you to be a pain in the ass? You might ask. Well, because they got a lot of feelings for you that they've pushed back. You saw the heat in that 2 of Pentacles in the pre-shuffle, right? I mean, there's something they got to get off their chest. It just all comes out at once, like a catapult. I mean, it's just unreal. Okay, what else? The Chariot. You're a control freak. You control things. You always need to be in charge. You always need to be the boss. You always need to be this. You know, I mean, I don't know. You're probably a natural. You're here. You're on Steve's Love Tarot. My channel attracts my soul tribe. We have to be similar in ways. Our energies have to resonate in some way for you to like this channel or like the things that I have to say or the way I do readings. So if you don't, then we're probably not. You know, we don't have much of a, we have a volatile connection from the past. One or the other could be there, you know. I say that because I can relate to this. When I was a kid, some friends started a club and they didn't want me to be in it. And I said, why don't you want me to be in it? Because you always take control of things. You always take charge. You know, that's fine. You know, yeah. I was a little offended at the time, but I look back and go, yeah, I probably was. That's why I grew up to be head of companies, own my own businesses, do my own thing, you know. So, and most of them just work for somebody, and they don't run their own, and they don't do their own thing, and they're not whatever, you know. I mean, so if someone's going to be a leader, you usually spot it when they're a kid, you know, and that's pretty much, they see you as a leader. They might also think that you're selling yourself short, that you might be somebody who works for somebody else, and they think that you should be doing a business. They think that you should be higher up in the food chain. They think you should be the CEO. I don't know. It's just part of what's there. Take what resonates. They basically think, you know, this person feels like you're bossy on some level, pious. I don't know how else to put it. They've held back. They've held this back a lot. Somebody's going to give you a piece of their fucking mind. I mean, this is holding back a lot. He's not going to be able to fight this off much longer, right? I think they're wrong about you, but I think what they actually think about you, because they've held it back, has gotten to a point where it's become toxic. It's become, the well is spoiled a little bit, okay? So I don't know who this is. This might be an ex. It's certainly somebody who thinks about you a lot. It could be a relative that you're estranged from. It could be a friend. An ex-best friend would fit this quite a bit, yeah. I mean, it would piss off. How my life turned out would probably piss off those childhood friends who didn't want me to be. They probably just go, yeah, see, this is why we didn't want you to be in the club. You always take charge. You always have to be in control and the boss. Okay, yeah, I always have to be in control. Sure, yeah that's me. Yeah. I like being in charge. Shoot me. You know, I mean, it is what it is. All right, potential final outcome for you. Red with the Seven of Wands. On the positive side, this person does have very positive opinion of you. Strangely, again, all of this, I just want to point this out before you're like, well, I don't see how anything here is positive, Steve. You said it's a positive, optimistic energy, outlook. Yeah, this person's just pressed this back too far. They're wrong about you. The negative impression that they give you is false. Okay? Keep that in mind. The truth is underneath, and we'll dig for it when we clarify. All right? We'll certainly dig for it in the extended. Okay. Potential final outcome for you. I took a peek. You know I did. It's red with the Seven of Wands. It's the Magician. Again, communication cards are going to fly out of this fucking deck like crazy here. Their intentions, it's what I said. What's that song? I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh, Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. You know, that song, it's a bit of that. The intentions are good here. It is very positive. Somebody wants to transform this. They're just going about it the wrong way. For example, in my taking it back, scaling it back, in my stanky sandal analogy from earlier, right? Where I went off on you for wearing those sandals I don't like you wearing. My intentions are good. I don't want you to wear them anymore. Every time you get in my car with those things, I got to get a new car freshener. You wear out a brand new one in 5 seconds. I mean, stop wearing them. The intentions are good. The methods are wrong. And why they're doing it is mixed up in their head, is mixed up in their feeling. They're all mixed up. They've got soul mixed up with ego, ego mixed up with soul. It's all fucking wrong. Okay? Let's clarify. Randomly at the bottom here is 4 Wands. You got a chance to make this right. It's a good thing you're getting this reading because honestly, you know, I said consider the other person, right? I said that, didn't I? Before you say something, before you say a truth, consider what the other person might want or need to hear and weigh that against how you want to say it. Somebody isn't doing that for you, but I want you to consider why they're saying it. So you don't like that I'm telling the way I said. The way I said, get rid of those stanky sandals. You don't like it. You don't like the way I said it. You're like, well, yeah, that's just fucking mean. But consider, at least to come out on top here, at least consider my intentions are good. Okay? That's all I can say. I don't blame you for kicking me in the teeth, right? You know, I mean, I just told you, nobody likes to hear they stink. But I could have said it better, yes. But you always have to keep back in mind their intentions are positive. It is a very positive energy. It's just coming out wrong because somebody suppressed their feelings too long. And boy, somebody's held back this thing. You know, if you got something to say, think about even somebody you don't like or somebody that you had an argument with and you think after the fact. You're always a better arguer after the fact. Like after you have an argument with somebody, you think of things you could have said, right? And then you rerun the argument in your head saying those things and you're like, you know, it just drives you crazy. It keeps you up at night. You wake up. Imagine that, and now this energy is making you call them back and finish the arguments. Pick a fight again just so you could say those things. All right? It's a bit of that. I think this person's held this back. They've thought about it too long. They've thought about feelings for too long, and this is what happens. All right? It's explosive. And in this energy, they don't care. They don't care what your feelings are. They don't care what you think. I'm just going to say this shit. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about the hidden feelings. All we need to clarify here is that. Right there. I will clarify the 7 of Wands, but I'll do it in relation to your final outcome because they're read together. All right? I get it for them. I don't know. Why are they so defensive? I don't know. Because they've held on to it too long. Duh. Why is the High Priestess here? Tell me more about these hidden feelings. Tell me more. I want to know. Come on, universe. Let's go. I just don't want you to get sugar-coated with a lot of people are going to sugarcoat this energy. It's especially if they're the rainbow unicorn types or they're all airy and whatever. You know, it's just, yeah, it's positive and optimistic, and yes, it's you know, direct and honest and all that. But honesty doesn't always work. We're not in a collective energy right now where honesty works. Okay? People don't want to hear it. Or they want to hear a lightened, cartoony version of it. You know? And all of that, a lot of this is indicative of what I'm getting in my offline readings for societal energies. There's a lot of pressure building right now. Even the news is starting to talk about that. There's a lot of pressure building right now. It is. It's a real fucking pressure cooker. You know. The 60s protests are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they're only going to get bigger. Right now, let's see where we go with the love and the high priestess. So all of that translated into one person for you. There's a lot of people, there's several energies attached to you, but this is the big one. This is the biggest one. So I don't know if it's an X or whatever. You'll have to figure that out for yourself. I'm pulling on the high priestess right now. I'm digging into their deep, dark secrets. All right? The Nine of Pentacles. Now, keep in mind as I go over this energy, when I talk about their deep, dark secrets or whatever, or the hidden energy that's here, or what's been, you know, what they're keeping back, it's tied to a Seven of Swords. So, when I'm explaining that in advance, because my read on the Nine of Pentacles crossing this is this person is trying to keep something secret, trying to keep it secret that they don't have their shit together, that they don't really have a falcon, that they're not really independent, that they're not, you know, they're lying about something that has to do with the Nine of Pentacles. Usually this comes up with somebody lying about being rich when they're not, for example, or, you know, lying that they're doing great when they're not. This is a very common energy. You run into this energy all the time. You run into somebody at the grocery store you haven't seen for a long time, and you say, how you doing? They say, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. They're not going to tell you that they're doing bad and about to lose the house and they just repossessed the car, had to take the bus here to the grocery store. They're not going to tell you that. They haven't seen you in a long time. They're going to bullshit you, keep it quiet, and paint a picture of that for you. All right? It's just an example, but it carries over into a deeper level with this person. All right? All right, what's on top here? Oh shit. Oh, fuck. King of Wands. Yeah. Somebody doesn't want you to see that they're not as cool as they say they are. You see that come out reverse? Did you see it? I didn't flip it. I would have read it reverse energy anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm going to flip it back up because I don't want to put it back in reverse in my deck. But know that it's reversed, okay? You probably, the universe wanted you to see it. Somebody does not want you to see that they're not this, that they don't have their shit together. They deep down inside, this person is a King of Wands reversed. They're a little child cowering in the corner crying, but outside, they're Joe Cool, right? 16-inch biceps and a lion. They got in a flaming torch. They're fine. They get a table at any restaurant. They could beat anybody up. They good. I got it under control. My life is great, right? Yeah. There's some cracks show it. And again, all of this, there's some shit. And here's how they see you. You're in control. You always want to be in charge. You're always right. You're always this. Yeah, I'm annoyed with you too in this energy. I get it. I'm going to come talk to you. You know, I mean, honestly, I don't blame this energy. I have to swim in this energy to do these readings. So I'm not saying you're anything bad. I'm just saying I understand why they would probably snap with Mercury and Sagittarius this time around. With the surrounding energies, considering the fact that it goes retrograde right on top of the 11/11 portal, the energetic new year. So we get Mercury goes retrograde, all this honest, direct communication, positive, optimistic outlook goes retrograde right on top of the point where we get fresh energy and a fresh perspective, and we get to look and go, it's why we're going to be questioning our beliefs. This person's right on the edge of questioning whether or not they even want to keep up this facade anymore. They might be coming to you and saying all these things as a silent, secret, deep down cry for help. I want you to consider that, okay? Please help me stop having to lie about all this shit, please. You know, it's like that person you run into at the grocery store intentionally wants you to see them get on the bus after they just got done telling you how great they were doing. And you thought they had a Mercedes the last time you saw them. You see what I'm saying? All right? It's a cry for help sometimes. It is. The very beginnings of it anyway. And the energy puts them in an I don't care position so that they do reveal some things. I think their actions will reveal more than their words in this, but the words will tell you on the back end what's going on deep down. So, I mean, on the surface, always look at the actions that go with the words. You know, I'm doing great. Yeah, everything's terrific. Yeah, still got that Mercedes. You bet. Got the big house. Then why are you getting on the bus with $10 worth of groceries? You got ramen in there? You know, I mean, something doesn't make sense. You know, you had to pay for your groceries with nickels, and you're talking about you're doing great. Yeah, still got the mansion. Yeah, okay, all right. See what I'm saying? I'm exaggerating, but it's important you understand this. Why is the King of Wands reversed? The Ten of Pentacles, their life. Again, somebody here. It's everything I already said that backs it up. That's their life. You know. The pressure that's building up for this person is a resentment toward you. You probably really are this, okay, on some level. You do what you want to, even if you just do what you want to do, it doesn't have to mean you're rich or you have a falcon. It can mean you live life on your terms, right? It's a liberation energy. The definition of the word liberal, not the political meaning or anything like that, but they're similar. But the definition of the actual word liberal, talks about being inclusive of others and being somebody who lives life on their terms, has a lot of freedoms, believes in freedoms, believes in letting everybody be who they want to be, who they are, all of that. All of a sudden, that's become a taboo thing. All of it. It's a high vibration thing. Apparently, high vibrations become taboo. But anyway, that's how they see you, and it's pissing them off. So they want to tear it down. I mean, the soulmate cycle is always a direct reflection of societal energies. This reading pretty much backs that up. All right, here we go. Why is the Queen of Swords here? Let's find out. But it is what it is. You know, there's a lot of false masks that might fall off in this energy. It is what it is. Let's see where we go. The Queen of Swords. That cry for help within this energy appeals to what I talked about, the deep down. It's probably a cry for help kind of a thing. You know, it appeals to the seeking of truth, the seeking of wisdom, which is part of Mercury and Sagittarius, right? The problem is, it's good. Well, the problem is the King of Wands, where even if you give them the truth, they'll just say there's something wrong with your evidence. Yeah, or yeah, you would say that. You know, that kind of a thing. When it's reversed like this, they are a little bit open to it. There's an opening. There's an opening to get a jab in of your honesty back. But you got to take the long view and consider the best way to do that. You got to be a bit strategic, okay? Which, strangely enough, the Queen of Swords is a bit strategic. That's something that they don't like about that they're pent up about you. Okay, on some level, or it's somebody who knows that you can outwit them, and you can. You're very protected. Temperance. Somebody thinks you're very protected. Somebody sees you as the angel, but that bothers them, right? They know you're good. It is what it is. What's on top? The King of Cups. Why is that here? The Queen of Pentacles. I mean, they see who you really are. Okay? They get it. They don't like it. That's what they're holding back. That's the excuse machine right there. The Queen of Swords. Right? You might be, in other words, they see, let's take one of the examples I gave. They see you as bossy and someone who always has to be in control or in charge. I'm not saying that's it for you, but let's just say it is. And the truth is that that's true. You are, what that means is you're the best person for the job to be in control of a relationship or to say where the relationship's going. They don't like that because this person's ego, they fancy themselves the boss, right? But they're not. They don't know what they're doing. The Emperor's wearing no pants here, you know. So, it's what it is. So what do? When the King of Wands is confronted with the fact that they're actually a reversed King of Wands, they pass it off as, you know, you're wrong. You're the devil. You're crap. This is nonsense, right? Happens all the time. All right. It's like those people that fell for the OneCoin scam. It was like a Bitcoin kind of a thing, sort of a thing like that. But it was another one that came along, and people, hundreds of thousands of people put in. It was like billions of dollars. The lady that ran the thing is like the only woman on the most wanted list. And, you know, took billions of dollars. They indoctrinated all their people like a cult. So, but bad press started coming out about OneCoin. You know, and all these people had mortgaged their houses and everything to put money into it and all that stuff. Bad press started coming out. But because the OneCoin people had turned them into a bit of a cult, had brainwashed them with one side of things, all they did was kept saying, well, those people are just haters. That's just this. That's just that. And they pass it off. And those people believe it because they want to, right? Again, we're reaching a point right now where the people that want to believe that there might be an opening with this person where you can get them to see things your way. That's all. It's possible. You know, be careful about that. We have to be careful about one-sided views. You know, you get like that. It reflects like a bit of a cult energy. I think this person's life is a little bit of a cult type energy. I think that anybody who's trying to keep up appearances, that's a cult. The cult doesn't want any outside information coming in, so it just debunks it. It just passes it off as nonsense to the people inside. And that's sort of what we've got here, you know. We've got someone who does that. We've got someone who's got a fake Nine of Pentacles life. And they taking it out on you. They've got something they want to get off their chest. It does come with good intentions attached. Your final outcome with this person is the Magician. We all living in big boy, big girl energies right now. There's nothing we can do about it. You can rainbow unicorn yourself right if you want to, but at the end of the day, the soulmate cycle and societal energies are all blending together. The DMs are having come to Jesuses with themselves in the soulmate cycle. That King of Wands rarely comes out reversed. I am encouraged. You want to talk about positive and optimistic? A Steve's Love Tarot reading got a fucking King of Wands reversed. That is a miracle. That's what that is. All right? That is a miracle. I've been wanting to see that in this context for a long time. In certain contexts, it would make him more maniacal. But in this case, it's not. It's not what it's doing because of the Seven of Swords tied to the High Priestess and the Nine of Pentacles crossing, in which escalated to a Ten of Pentacles. They know what life they want. They're coming to get it from you, probably by insulting you in some way. But it's for a good cause. I'm just being honest. Oh, I love it when people say that. Right? They say something horrible, but hey, I'm just being honest. Okay, you got to consider the other person, right? When we lose empathy, we run into a lot of problems. When the King of Wands loses empathy, they become maniacal. When the Emperor loses empathy, they become maniacal. We got a little bit here, but there's some vulnerability attached to it. So let's pull your final outcome. Why's the Magician here? It is what it is, man. Tell you what. All right, here we go. It's crossed by the Ace of Swords. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. No, believe it or not, you've got it. Am I right? Yeah, there's the Two of Pentacles. You've got something to get off your chest too, but I think you should hold back a little bit. There's a moon there. I think you should hold back. There's also, it was tied to a Two of Swords, yeah. If I were you, I'd stay quiet. I would. I'm going to pull right now. I'm going to pull this, and then I'm going to pull the Seven of Wands, okay? What's on top for you? The Ten of Cups. And why is that here? The Death card. Another card, even bigger, of transformation, further down the line from the Magician. You can have what you want from this person, provided you keep your mouth shut. I think you should keep your mouth shut, right? I think you should. Okay, I'm gonna find out. I could be wrong. Why is the Seven Wands here? I can always be wrong. Allow for that. See? It's that simple. You think that, I could always be wrong. Allowing for that allows for the fact that you stay like water and you flow with wherever the truth, the actual truth leads you. If you're rigid, if you say, well, I can never be wrong, I'm not wrong, I'm 100% right, I'm always right. If you say that, then no matter what truth comes at you, you're going to think it's fake truth. It's nonsense, right? You can't lean too far in any one direction. Same thing here with this relationship. This person here Here's some stuff you want to say. But you got to zip your lip. You sort of zip your lip by saying, well, I could be wrong. Let me just let this play out. Right? Then you see if you're right or you're wrong. Be curious. Try to take in this energy a curious approach. Sort of like letting a hamster go in a cage. You get a little hamster, you put a toilet paper tube in, you put a little wheel in, right? You want to sit back and watch, let's see what he does. That kind of a thing. That's the approach you should take here. Consider this person coming towards you, a fucking hamster, and you put out a bunch of toilet paper tubes. Let's see what the little guy does. Keep your damn mouth shut. Crossed by the 7 of Wands, right? It's the devil. Once you start talking, look, this 7 of Wands is red with your final outcome. Once you start yammering, this energy takes over. Toxin, negative energy feeds negative energy. You're not going to like what they have to say. Yep, it might piss you off a little bit. It might. It's not what you want to hear from this person. It's not, but there's a chance here. There's a chance here for you to actually get what you want from this person. Just don't feed the negative energy. It's already there. Just let the toxin all get out. And then when it gets out, there's a space after it to come in. All right, what's on top? The Knight of Wands. You'll blurt something out without thinking she's too old to be at this party. You know, I mean, this is a party that was thrown without thinking. I mean, more people are going to come. There's a horse in the yard now. The cops are showing up. The bongo's on fire. It'll get out of control like his hair. It's out of control. Okay. Why is the Knight of Wands here? The Page of Pentacles. Observe and report. It's the mantra of every security guard. I got a friend that took the security to get his guard card, right? And I said, so what do you do with this? You're an unarmed security guard. What the fuck is that? That sounds like a target to me. I said, what do you do with this job? He said, well, they just tell us to observe and report, Steve. Okay, great. You know, and hide, I imagine. You know, I mean, but anyway, observe and report. This person, consider this King of Wands a hamster, and you put down a bunch of toilet paper tubes. Let's see what the little guy does. All right? Plain and simple. Is there a bridge here? The Hangman. Come on. Observe and report, and you will get the information you need. Refrain from, when people come at you, refrain from saying anything. I want all of you watching to refrain, because most of you are the DF side. On all fronts in your life. I know this is a communication energy. I know it's very positive. I know it's open and honest, but I want you to just refrain from getting anything off your chest in this energy, at least until after the retrograde is over, right? And Mercury goes direct again afterward, where you've had time to sit with it. Other energies are not going to do that. They're going to come at you, but don't say anything, all right? It's a chance. If nothing else, let's say they have something to say that's stupid. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. Stop. Don't say that. That's the devil. Oh, where is he? We lost him. There he is. That's the devil. Okay? You don't want to say that. There's a moment in this energy, because it's so open and honest. This is an important point. This is why. You shouldn't say anything. There's a moment in this energy, a space of quiet, where they say something. And if they say something that's completely wrong and stupid, if you confront them about it, you make noise over, you drown out that moment. There's a moment where when they say something stupid, they realize it's stupid that they just said it. And that's where you get your chance. But you've got to let them sit in that moment. If you come back with an argument, you drown out that moment, and they'll just continue to say the stupid things. You follow? That's all you got to do. Even if you don't follow, all you got to do is shut the fuck up in this energy. It's not going to be easy. Get a hobby. Start crocheting. Turn your focus elsewhere. Whatever you got to do. Just shut up. All right? Don't say anything. I wish I could, but I got a YouTube channel, so I'm going to have to trigger some people. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. That's your reading here. I'm going to pull... Let's pull 3 cards from the bottom and a crossing card. See if there's anything else the universe wants to tell you. There's probably a couple of links for the extended at the top of the description. I say probably because I forget sometimes, but they're probably there. All right. This is some powerful shit. All right? I'll open by pulling on you. I'll also pull on this devil. The devil represents this toxin. But both of you have it. But when you let it out, the two toxins come together and they just butt heads. If only one is released, then somebody gets the echo back on it to hear how stupid it is. Right? You know? It's amazing. This is the energy. This is what I call, in this energy, this is what I call a delusion buster energy. That type of thing that I just described, where there's a moment afterward where they actually hear themselves. And so if you don't want to fill that with your noise, right? This is a delusion buster energy. It's also a conspiracy theory buster energy. It comes up quite a bit. This devil counts on the fact that the space in between what they say and the other person is going to get filled by the other person. It needs another energy, right, to feed itself. It needs another negative to come in. So, honestly, just keep your mouth shut. So that's that. That's fine. Take a screen grab of a King of Wands reversed in a Steve's Love Tarot reading. You won't be, I hope you see more of them, but I don't think you will. I'm going to leave him reversed for a second, but before I clean these up, I'm going to turn him back upright when I put him back in the deck. Although I can always read the energy reversed. It's just when it actually comes out that way, you know. Well, there we go. They don't care. It came back. 4 of Pentacles. 8 of Cups. 8 of Wands. 8 of Cups. Freudian slip on that, but might be. And the 6 of Pentacles. But I hit the deck and I actually reversed it. So it's a 6 of Pentacles reversed. Crossing an 8 of Cups that I Freudian slipped an 8 of Wands. A 4 of Pentacles and a Page of Wands. It's exactly what I said. Hold back. Just shh. Don't engage. Don't give to this. Do not. The 8 of walk away from the 8 of Wands, my Freudian slip. The 8 broken cups. If you truly want transformation with this person, you want to change the relationships in your life, you want honesty to prevail, you got to let the other side figure out the honesty. You trying to feed it to them isn't going to cut it. Let them figure it out on their own. The energy is there for them to do it, but they've got to hear the echo of their own words, not y'all words coming in and yelling at them. Go find a hobby. Go out and look for frogs with this little guy. Take a dog for a walk. I don't know, whatever it is, you know. Keep your mind on something creative. Most of you are the DFs watching me. That's what this channel attracts. Keep your mind on the creative, and you'll be fine. All right? And remember what I said, it's a good tip. Look, it's a good tip in general. You know, it's like my old thing I quote. It's a very rare quote that I do from Jackie Chan. I don't usually quote Jackie. I don't have a problem with Jackie, but I don't quote him very often. From what the hell was it? I don't know. I forget what Rush Hour, I think, or something like that. I have 2 quotes I take from that movie. One that the other guy did, where he goes, "Titties, titties, titties, move those titties." I often do that. I don't know why. I just like doing it in public because people turn around and look at me. But the other one is Jackie Chan says in that movie he likes to let people talk. It lets him see how full of shit they are. That's what you're doing here. Okay? They're just a hamster. You want to see what they do. Let their words echo back. You find a creative hobby. All right. Wow. A rare King of Wands reversed. That's your reading. Okay? It's big boy, big girl energy. It's amazing energy. This is a very pivotal, very important Mercury retrograde, both in the soulmate cycle and for societal energies. It's extremely pivotal. That's about that. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope you and this person can work something out. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull on, because not everybody goes to the extended, and I don't like to hold my readings hostage. I'm going to pull on you and this person. I'm going to turn him back upright. Okay? And I'm just going to clarify your relationship with this person real quick before we go to the extended. All right? I've got to hold my reading hostage. If I got a question here I want for the universe, I'm going to make it. Who is this person to you? Now, again, it's going to be different for all of you. There's thousands of people watching. But I can at least determine if it's a lovey-dovey thing or if this is like a relative of some kind. Because this could, or a friend, this could play out any way. I mean, it's probably playing out all of those ways for you, but one, I pulled on the big energy here, this one that you've got all this karma with, the ties that bind, all this pent-up fucking hair. All right, let's go. And notice he doesn't have much hair. Okay. King of Wands, why is that here? It's a big one. It's crossed by the tower. The environmental energy around you and this person is a tower. It's generally as an indicator, well, before I open my mouth, let me see if I'm right. What's on top? Yeah, the sun. This is somebody you were supposed to be with. You're supposed to be happy with this person. You're supposed to be either best buddies. You're supposed to be close as a family member. Your energies are very close in frequency. Very much so. I've got a lion here and Leo energy here. Right? I've got the sun. I've got you very close in frequency. Not the same, but very close. So why is that here? The Four of Wands. What did I say? I'm checking my energy. I read the energy first, and I throw the cards. I'm okay to be wrong. And that's something, take that forward with you. I'm trying to teach you a lesson. I'm trying to show you it's okay to be wrong. All right? So that we stop fucking going down the wrong road and keep going. It's okay to be wrong. In relationships, in the world, whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter. Right? People stay in bad relationships. Why? Well, we've been married for 10 years. I mean, it's a wash then. You want another 10? If you're in misery, you're supposed to be with this person. You're supposed to be walking a path with this person. You're supposed to have this picture with this person. Whoever this is, they're a big fucking deal. Whether you're related to them or banging them, it doesn't really matter. It's an important connection in your life. And they might hurt your fucking feelings in this energy. Don't worry about it. Just whatever. Laugh it off, okay? All right. That's your reading. If you want the extended, I do now. I don't even know what I'm going to get here or here when I pull on that shit. There's a couple of links at the top of the description. All right. Good luck.